Hi there guys and welcome. These are your handover videos for your Sprite Major 4SB. These are a basic walkthrough on how to set up and operate the caravan as if you were coming on or off site. So starting off first, have your black hitch head here with black handle that you have to have pulled up like so, to then be able to wind down the jockey wheel onto the tow bar, causing that black handle to snap down, pushing up that red button and exposing a green ring. Occasionally, sometimes this black handle won't stay up on its own. Get a bit of WD-40 down those pins, it'll make it stay upright. You have your breakaway cable here, which legality states if you have an eye point it has to be used, if not wrapped around the tow bar. You then have your handbrake here. Disengage, press down, engage, flick up. Now you can see it comes up with a fair bit of force, so make sure your face isn't in the way. You then have 13-pin electric. So if you've got 7-pin adaptation, make sure to bring yourself an adapter. 2 points either side and 2 points at the back, we have inserts for your legs. Now the caravan itself comes with a leg winder where you can get yourself a 19mm drill bit and a power drill just to make it that bit quicker. Do not attempt to jack up or level the caravan using your legs, they're simply used for stabilisation. Now we are using our test equipment today, so first up I have a red propane gas bottle. I'd always recommend propane over butane just because it has better performance in winter. Connected onto the actual point itself, you have this gas hose. Now this is dated 2025. Black gas hoses will run for 5 years, orange ones will run for 10. That gas hose connects onto this regulator here. Now you have to have that point, that yellow toggle facing downwards for it to be on. Hand tighten that as much as you can and then just nip it up using a spanner. You don't want it ridiculously tight as there is a washer inside the actual hose itself. Too much pressure on that can cause it to crack and break, leading to gas spilling out. Once both sides are firmly connected, twist the gas bottle in the positive or open direction. Coming along here, first up we have your flue. Your flue is used to get clean air in and out of your boiler when operating on gas. Don't have to do anything with this except make sure it's nice, clean and tidy. We then have the inlet for the water pump here. I have an Akrol full of clean drinking water and then I have the actual pump. So to remove it, I press in on the trigger and pull out. And then I have this plastic cap to go over the top of the Akrol to ensure no nastiness gets in. And at the bottom we have the strainer, if it would play ball with me. Here is the strainer. The strainer itself has to sit at the bottom of the barrel to allow the maximum potential of water to come in. As you can see, to engage it in, I just have to press it in. Now, these hoses do have a bit of a tendency to curl up. So, my recommendation, old hose pipe or some PVC tubing just to ensure it's always nice and straight. Next to that, we have your battery locker. As you can see here, this example has a battery fitted. It's got 2 terminals on the top, both of which you can take off with a 12 or 13mm spanner. We then have the mains lead just here, which plugs in nice and easy. And then behind it, we have the point for the motor mover. Motor mover will be gone over on collection. And then just here, we have the 2 points where your wastewater is going to come out of. You'll need some 28.5mm waste pipe to then feed into a waste master that you can empty out at the appropriate point on site. And lastly, for the exterior, we have your toilet function. So first up, we have your Thetford cassette here. To remove it, press up on the orange handle and pull out towards you. Now this handle itself does pull out and up, so this can be used similar to a carry-on suitcase. Twist this head to the side. Open up this cap. What you want to do is tilt, and at the same time as tilting, continually pressing your vent button. As you can see here, I've put in some fresh water. The reason I do that is these things can honk a little bit. So you'd open up this compartment, feed in some fresh water, give it a bit of a shake, and again, tilt and vent. Then, on this cap here, you have measurements of both imperial and metric. That is for your blue chemical. Blue chemical goes into there, back onto the cap, bish bash bosh, press it in, so the handle itself sits behind the white teeth. Above it, you have your flush tank. The flush tank itself has the capacity to hold 12 litres, however I wouldn't recommend putting in any more than 10 as you don't want to overfill the compartment. You could also add some pink chemical which works as a bleach without being corrosive and makes it smell a bit nicer. Do not put actual bleach down it though, it will corrode the plastics. Now you don't want to travel with either of these too full. Just up here, little bung. Come on, to drain off any remaining water from out of here. The caravan itself will be fully drained off before you collect it. Then underneath your right hand side seat you have all of this here, so I wouldn't recommend storing anything. Underneath this compartment, which you can pull up, you have your Truma Combi boiler. You then have a series of blue pipes which lead to these flow jets. Now that is what will pull through the water from outside to your actual boiler itself. Midway through you have this here, which is your yellow drain valve. Facing in the position as it is now, that is allowing the flow of water to come through. Flick it up so it's in the vertical position, that will drain off any remaining water inside the system. November to March have that up permanently unless you're actively using the caravan, and anytime you come off site, drain off the caravan because it will tend to slosh back and forth, just causing general damage. You will collect the caravan with that in the upright position. This box here is your eMove motor mover box, which you can pull back a panel that is situated at the back if you ever have to do a reset. The back of this white box is the back of your battery locker. The silver box on the side is your battery charger, and then you have both your trips and fuses, all your trips in the upright position and all your fuses in the correct position. You then have heating and hot water, which are both operating and working. You have the reverse polarity system there if you ever go abroad, and then you have a complete system shutdown button. Press that in, nothing inside the caravan is able to operate. If you need some more information on your trips and fuses, you can pull down this panel here and it gives you a bit more. I would always recommend carrying some extra fuses across the caravan. See on here for the sink. So water's running nice. You would just have to let it run for a little bit. So we'll pull it through, keeps on pulling through. You can check it on cold and hot as well. You might get the odd occasional splutter. So that's 30 seconds pulling it through. See underneath, no leaks at all. Keeping in there, nice and gradual. No issue at all. And just here we have your main control panel. So at the top we have internal and external temperature, humidity, time, date and leisure battery charge. First up we have this pump button with the blue surround. So when I've pressed it in and it's got the blue surround, what I would do is come over to my taps, open up on both hot and cold, let it run through for around about 30 seconds. What you're looking for is a nice steady continuous stream like so. So there's on hot and cold. Next we have awning light, which has the yellow surround on it. So you can see there, awning light on. Then we have lighting, so we have dimmer 1 and dimmer 2. Dimmer 1 is 4 at the back. So pressing there you can see it turns off. Dimmer 2 at the front. Now turn it on and I can dim the lights here, so you can see it gradually gets a bit darker. That's at the lowest, and then we'll go back up to the highest. Next we have the amount of power coming into the van. So right now 13.5 volts are coming in through the mains. Nothing coming from solar as there isn't solar. Nothing coming from vehicle. AC current is 1.9, and then you can also set a limit for that as well. Then you have settings here. So these are general settings. So time, date, day, screen brightness, screen timeout, night mode, key beep. So what that does, it will just beep up whenever I select anything, and then pairing for Bluetooth. Now you can get through to some additional settings by pressing and holding onto the settings tab just here. Now it will go onto this part. I would not recommend to change over anything on this, especially with these two. Now what they will do, it will sync the fridge of the heater to the Swift command panel. However, what that can cause, because it's mainly for motorhomes, it can cause it to trip and the fuses to blow. So please do not actually select them over. However, it just gives you a couple of additional settings here. Then next to it, we have your Truma control panel. So press in on this. So we've got a press and hold, and you've got this, which is a dial, also a button, and then a back button. So first up, we've got the caravan with the thermometer in it. This is for the internal temperature of the caravan that you desire. It goes up to a maximum of 30. Whatever you select, it will get to that temperature in around about an hour. Obviously, it is sort of dependent on the weather conditions as well. Next to it, we have the thermometer in water. This is for the temperature of the water that you'd like. So Eco, Hot or Boost. Eco will get the water temperature to around 40 degrees. Hot will get it to about 60. And Boost will prioritise heating the water over heating the actual caravan itself for half an hour, and then drop it back down to Eco. Then we have your energy source. So we can either use strictly gas, mixture of gas and 1 kilowatt, mixture of gas and 2 kilowatt, strictly electric with 1 kilowatt, or strictly electric with 2 kilowatt. Whatever comes up shows up on the top row. Then we have your fan speed, so we can either have Eco, High or Boost. Now Boost will prioritise heating the van over heating the actual water. High is a quite vigorous boost, and then you have Eco here. However, let's say I do not have the heating on at all, and then I go back over to this fan setting, press in, off or vent. Now what vent will do, it will push around the air that is inside the caravan, so it just circulates it through. So you'd have your windows open on a nice day like today and just allow a bit of fresh air to come through. Then at the bottom, we have a timer. So this allows you to start and stop when you'd like the heating to come on and off. You just first select the time for starting, then the stopping. Then you have your time. So it's not currently 3 minutes past 6. This is a 24-hour clock, so just select the correct time. Then you have the spanner icon, which is for settings. So offset, temperature, brightness, 12 or 24-hour clock, language, index, reset. Not going to go through them, as we have set this to what we believe is the most user-friendly to use. Then when you don't want the heating on at all, press and hold in on the middle, and it will turn itself off. Now occasionally this screen may phase out, so what you have to do is a recalibration. So let's first turn off these. Now the screen itself might not be able to operate, but what you have to do is press and hold in on this power button on the side. It will then turn itself off after a few seconds, but you have to keep your finger on. So you keep it on and you're pressing and holding for around about 20 seconds. What will happen is a blue screen will come up eventually, and then you have to recalibrate it through there. So touch the dots to recalibrate, press in, press in, press in, calibrated, turn it back on, and then the screen itself is then able to operate, and the radio is going to come on great all night long. Fantastic. And here we have your toilet operation, which is box simple. Press in the button and you can hear that motor. That motor is what will push around any water inside the system. To remove the waste, press away on the handle, opens up your cap, pull it back towards you, shuts it up, and when the cassette is full, red light on there telling you to empty. Then here we have your hob grill and oven. So all of this operates on gas. All you have to do, press in on the dial, twist it to the side, and press in the igniter. Now it may be a case that if you haven't used the system in a while, or you've just replugged in, that these flames will light and cut out. That is normal. That's the gas making its way through the system. This is what it looks like when they're all lit. As you can see, all burners nice and lit. Turn it off, back to the central. Same concept for your grill, so let's see if I can do this with one hand. I do have a trapped nerve, which is always fun. So it takes a little second to come through, and then it should be a case both sides light up. Just because I've not used this system since I plugged in the bottle, it can take a second. And finally, your oven, thick all the way across there. Now make sure as well that these trays don't intrude on the actual flame, as it can cause it to cut out. Only other real thing to note, make sure that if you're traveling with your gas bottle, the bottle is turned off. Get your words out, and that you travel with this glass sheet down, but don't put it down until all of these are nice and cold. Then here we have your Dometic fridge operation. So get down on the floor, press and hold in on this button. It will flash up and go to its most recent memory, which in this case is mains on full capacity. When the fridge is on, there's blue lights inside. You can change the source using this button. So I press it once, and you've got mains there. I'll press it again, and it's going to go over to that battery symbol. That is representative of 13-pin electric. So when I press it, you can see a hazard comes up. Flick over to gas. Now for gas, I wouldn't recommend using it until you've gone through all your hob grill and oven. So you can hear it gradually tick in at the back. However, you don't have to do anything yourself. Then you have the amount of power coming in. So 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5. 5 being the most powerful, so it's going to chill it the quickest. It does take around 4 hours for the fridge to fully chill. So you can either chill it the night previous or chill it whilst you're towing. Then to turn this off, press and hold in. Turn it itself off. No more light. All good.